I mean, Germany, honestly, is not paying their fair share.
Calling out members by name, Donald Trump didn't hold back as he sat down at the White House with the NATO Secretary General, crediting himself with the uptick in defense spending.
You go back 10 and 15 years, and it's a roller coaster ride down in terms of payment. And since I came to office, it's a rocket ship up.
The U.S. president's criticisms aren't new. He's repeatedly attacked the NATO alliance, at one point calling it obsolete. He's walked back those criticisms, but routinely complains the U.S. shoulders NATO's defense burden.
It helps them. They're in Europe. Helps them a lot more than it helps us.
Trump's views have made NATO leaders wary of their partnership. In 2017, he refused to endorse the mutual defense commitment, in place since 1949, known as Article 5 of the NATO treaty. Some reports have suggested President Trump has privately told advisors he wants to withdraw from NATO, potentially destroying the alliance. That's why many NATO members remain suspicious of the U.S. commitment. NATO members fear a weakened alliance without the United States would be powerless to contain Russia's advance into Ukraine and threats to its neighbors. That's why steps have been taken to strengthen the pact as a result of Trump's threats.
He's spurred, unintentionally perhaps, a movement towards European autonomy, greater European autonomy. So it's been happening for a long time, but I think Trump's maybe helped the Europeans pick up the pace a little bit in building their own capability separate from NATO.
But for all of Trump's criticisms, the U.S. Congress still supports NATO. In January, bipartisan legislation passed in the House of Representatives blocking Trump from withdrawing from the 29-nation pact. There's similar legislation in the Senate. Knowing this, NATO's leaders sought to reassure members from the Oval Office.
After years of cutting defense budgets, NATO allies have now started to invest more. And by the end of next year, they will have added 100 billion more into their defense budget since you took office.
It's a message Stoltenberg, who will preside over a NATO meeting in Washington this week, hopes to impress on an ambivalent U.S. president in order to preserve the alliance. Kimberly, Halkett, Aljazeera, the White House.